Ashley. She's
I feel like we were about to get into it, guys.
I know. What two people to have to discuss this today. It has caused a lot of controversy, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I think rightly so. And by the way, that's not actually the worst ad. There's another one where
so there's multiple ads.
There's a few different ones. Yeah, and one is like it zooms in on her cleavage, and she's like, "I'm up here," and then the other one is, "I'm Sydney Sweeney," and it. And my eyes are blue, and then it said, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, her eyes are blue, or something like that. So there's a lot of criticism that this advert is playing on eugenics, which is obviously the idea that some people are more worthy of life, existence, reproduction, and it's usually, it centres whiteness, slimness, this kind of old school Eurocentric ideal of beauty. And look, I'm also a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman, so people aren't criticising the ad because they've used a white actress, like she's gorgeous. It's the kind of play on this eugenics, like the double entendre between genes and genes, and it's also the backdrop of Trump's America. You know, we have seen a rollback of rights. We've seen, but it's true. There are books about race, gender and identity that are being banned, trans healthcare being outlawed, abortion being banned, and so it just plays into this very right-wing, dare I say, like fascist.
Well, here's the thing.
There's a big sigh.
I know.
I can feel him.
Ashley, don't buy the jeans, OK? Just don't buy the jeans.
Yep.
The reality is they have had a lift in sales of 20% and their share price has gone up. We'll talk about the Trump Association. This is a quantum leap, a hell of a stretch, a hell of a denim stretch, to get from a play on the word genes to eugenics. Some of the criticism is almost saying this is like Nazism. Now, I think whenever you hear the word Nazi, you've probably lost the argument. It is a play on the word genes. She's like Jane Mansfield now, isn't she, of the modern day, an incredible star. It's quite funny. It's a wordplay. It's a pun. I really think people, I don't mean you personally, I want to rephrase it, I think people who seek to do this and you're supporting them, I think they've just got something wrong.
I need to tell you this is where it gets complicated. So in the campaign, Sydney says, genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair colour, personality, even eye colour. My genes are blue.
Right.
If they'd have used a black or brown actress, it would be very different. It is playing on this kind of white supremacy idea that certain genes are morally superior.
If the viewers can see that now...
Of course it is, but it's also against this rise of right-wing politics. And we always see through history this kind of... Because in 2019, American Eagle used a plus-size black model.
If it's so heinous, why are more people buying the jeans?
Because, look, why do people vote in Trump? I'm not denying that.
Well, because
I'm not denying that there's a movement towards right-wing politics, and there's.
It's buying a pair of jeans. This isn't the Ku Klux Klan.
Well,
let's get this under
Donald
control.
Trump has come out in support of it.
Do you think the marketing team behind this campaign knew what it was going to happen?
Of course they did.
Knew the controversy that it would create.
I don't.
Nick,
honestly,
I was so naive to say that.
To get to eugenics from genes,
they were like, genes and genes. That's a great double entendre. Let's get the most conventionally all-American, blonde-haired, blue eyes, white girl, especially on this
not allowed to
political backdrop.
Should we have a quick look at what President Trump had to say about Sydney Sweeney? Let's have a quick look.
You'd be surprised at how many people are Republicans. That's what I wouldn't have known, but I'm glad you told me that. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic.
Bear in mind, Donald Trump is very critical of any woman who is critical of him. So, like Rosie O'Donnell, he's threatened to revoke her citizenship because she's been critical of him. Taylor Swift, another example. So I feel like this is a man with a very fragile ego. And by the way, 55...
He's not allowed to have an opinion on a gene.
It's just a weird thing for a president to be getting involved. If you look back to, like, the Obama days, do you think that he would be on Twitter tweeting out about Rosie O'Donnell, Taylor Swift?
And grace.
Well, there we go. We agree on something.
Yeah,
do you think a celebrity's political affiliation should affect their work in the first place, Nick?
I don't want to ask with a double negative. I don't think it shouldn't. I know that's a double negative. Yeah. I don't think it should impinge. I mean, I genuinely didn't know that she was a Republican. Candidly, seeing as Donald Trump is in his 70s, this young woman is in her 20s, and not a lot of people in 70s are buying jeans, let's be honest about it. A lot of people in their 20s are buying jeans, whether sales will continue to rocket. Now, in Madison Avenue, which is the centre of advertising in New York, where they probably have created this ad, they'll be thinking, well, it was all going fine until Donald Trump. I don't know if we need Donald Trump's endorsement, to Ashley's point, but again, young people, if you look at the breakdown, I think it was about 42% of young people voted for Donald Trump. So this automatic idea, oh my God, all young people hate Donald Trump. A lot of them do, but not all of them do, as you're about to find out.
Yeah, 55% of white women voted for Donald Trump, so it's also not a surprise. And I think it's very disappointing, especially because she's young.
I didn't see the colour out here at all. I get the jeans.
But I think it would be different. They could have picked Sydney Sweeney and another black or brown actress and, you know, rolled out several ads where the other person said, my jeans are brown or my eyes are brown, this actress has great genes. I think that would be making it very clear that they're not playing on this.
I think you wake up in the morning looking for trouble where there isn't any. I feel sorry for Tommy. What he goes through, your bloke.
Tommy feels sorry for
poor guy.
Well,
I love that you can debate and clearly still like each other.
Yeah, this is lovely.
Racism is undeniable. The rollback of rights in America for trans people, disabled people and women is undeniable.
You have come dressed as one of the Waltons, I have to say.
I did realise.
I don't know why you're against America so much.
I did realise that I am aware that I look like a bad wife today, but I am not. I'd be a very bad one.
Let's leave that be and let's let the rest of the world argue about it.
We're going to change the subject slightly
Let's change it up. It says here that more than half of parents, 52%, feel anxious about taking their child on long car journeys because of how distracting they can be. Is this worrying, Ashley?
I mean, we know that children are distracting, but I think we live in a society where people don't want children on planes, restaurants, public spaces, and so if we don't allow them in cars, we're basically saying we need to stay at home. Of course, children are distracting. My mum actually used to use us as an excuse if she ever would go speeding, because she'd turn around and, I mean, it's terrible for parenting, isn't it? But she'd turn around and hit one of us. So we'd cry, and then when the police would stop her, she'd be like, I'm so sorry, I'm so distracted. Very, very clever, but probably not great for today's parenting standards.
Is it something that we can all relate to, though, I suppose, isn't it?
I feel like it's just about being prepared and trying to give them distractions. Obviously,
tips and tricks.
Screen times, I know, are a bit off limits at the moment, but if it keeps you safe for driving, Tony boxes are great, or Yoto players.
Yeah, they're great.
Other great things. You can even get these amazing tables that where, you know, they can do colouring or whatever they want to do.
The most terrifying drive.
Play I Spy.
The most absolutely, yeah, that's right. The most terrifying 2 drives of my life have been when I've collected each of my sons when they were newborn. The first time you collect them from hospital and you drive them back to the house, and you would pass your driving test the way you drive that. You observe every single sign. As to the rest, well, there's always going to be distractions in the car. The radio could be a distraction, everything else. We have to be real about that.
We have
the arguments continue through the break.
Right.
Friendly, Joel.
So the next one is, should phones be banned in theatres? Amber Davies of Love Island fame has taken to social media to call out an audience member who was distracting the performance by filming The Great Gatsby at the London Coliseum last night. So where do you stand on that with filming performances in theatres?
I would ban the following. I would ban people who arrive late, people who sing along during a show, during a musical. I would ban them. I would ban any filming. I would ban people with loud chocolates or sweets and potato crisps. All of those will be banned.
Potato crisps?
Chips, potato crisps. So I am totally on side with Amber Davies. It is distracting. It's also, I think, I've never appeared on the stage like that, but apparently it's quite distracting for the because the light can, or I read that the light can hit, and it destroys the whole moment. So yes, I'm totally with her, and surely Ashley, for once, you will see sense.
For once, Nick, I agree with you.
There we go.
So I'm glad that you see sense today. Because also,
and singing. At a musical, when they sing along?
Oh, you can sing to a musical, surely.
It's a tough one, because I also
maybe not
understand
a theatre thing, but you know, if you go see like a tribute band.
Oh, that's different.
That's
different.
Yeah.
But I think if you're going to
Don't cry for me,
musical,
Argentina. You don't want the woman next to you
I agree with that.
I understand like how it probably kind of carries you away and you love it and you just want to get involved. So as an audience member, you want to, but I think you're there to watch the professionals.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, you can't ban people who are late, because I was once late to the theatre because I'd given plenty time and there was a music video happening in the middle of Leicester Square and I just couldn't get round in time.
Should have left earlier.
I left really early. But look, going to the theatre is so expensive.
It is.
They are
That's true.
live, brilliantly talented professionals. So, number one, we don't want to distract them. But also,
No.
I'd be furious if I spent the price that theatre costs to see someone else on the
As
phone.
long as you
It
arrive
annoys
quietly
me.
and you're not... If you're sitting in the middle of a row, then if you're sitting on the end of the row, maybe I'll let you in.
And,
Depends where you're sitting.
and do not eat potato crisps.
There's something about being immersed in that
Yes.
experience,
Yeah.
whether it's the theatre or musical theatre or a comedy gig
Even the
or even
cinema.
to go and see a band.
Just taking that time off your phone, it's like what we all need to sort of learn, I think, is that it is healthy for us to just enjoy that thing in the moment together, watching
Exactly.
that thing on stage, watching that comedian. A lot of comedy clubs are now starting to take people's phones off them, put them in bags outside. And then Mickey Flanagan did it for his tour. Like, people do it in America a lot. For different reasons, probably because of controversy and things like that.
Yeah.
So I just think let's all share that moment where we can all enjoy
The
that
lights
thing.
go down. It's a shared experience, isn't
Yeah.
it? And don't do anything to destroy it. Sorry.
I was going to say, I did realise I got into peak adulthood when I stood up in the cinema and asked a few youths to get off their phones. And then as I was saying it out loud, I was like, oh no, I've reached that age.
I know.
where I'm telling people off. But it is so annoying because you just see this, like, Blackpool just lit up in front of you. So
You know when you've reached an age where you say, could you close the door? I'm having a draft. You know? Oh, that's when you know you've reached it. It's a nasty draft. How old is he?
They don't make music like that anymore. Oh, God. OK, we'll talk now about following complaints of antisocial parking. Lime e-bikes will no longer operate in the London borough of Hounslow. Do you think this is the way forward?
Look, it's not the e-bikes, is it? And here we are. Now, there they are, as they should be parked. There are other providers. I ought to say there's a firm called Forest that does them. And that's how you should park them. Now, what has happened is, and there's a very famous actor called Robert Powell, who some of your viewers remember from Jesus of Nazareth. He lives, and a lot of people are just effectively hurling their bikes on the ground. And he says, if we're not careful, me or my wife, who they happen to both be in their 80s, we're going to go flying, there's going to be a serious accident. So it's not the bikes that are the problem, it's the users who are the problem. And I do sometimes use them, and anyone who uses them knows that if you try and park them somewhere and they don't like, they just won't allow you to stop the rental. So you have to keep cycling, and that's what we need more of. This could be easily solved by the firms who run them saying, right, you can't park in residential roads, you can park on designated street corners, in a car park or something like that. So I think the firms need to look to themselves.
I hate it when I agree with Nick. And you take the words right
Two in a row.
Well, also, because, look, I think
There
e-bikes...
should be more bikes thrown on the ground. I've changed my mind.
Yeah, right in the middle of the pavement. I don't care. I think these e-bikes are amazing for being able to get around. But I have a double buggy, which is the same size as a wheelchair. And there's so many days where I cannot get past on the pavement. And I am able to, even though it's really hard, get off the curb and go around it. But if someone's in a wheelchair, they don't have the privilege of being able to do that. And, I mean, there's bikes on our walk to nursery that even get thrown in the river. So I think it is just, like, selfish people. I think banning them entirely feels like blaming these selfish people and everyone else is punished for it. And in my borough, they have put allocated parking spaces. So they're on the roadside and it will say whatever bikes they are and you can park them. And that's actually cleared it up. So I wonder if rather than banning them for everybody, they can just do more to maybe find people who don't do it. Because there must be a record of whoever leaves that bike there.
Yeah.
So I say punish the people who are being selfish.
Absolutely.
Do you know, it actually blows my mind that there are people so selfish, like even when you're getting on a train or a tube, that they have to pay someone to stand on the platform to ask people to move down. I feel like it must be so peaceful for these people, because I spend my life worrying, like, can everyone get on? Move down, move down. So, yeah, just humans, very selfish.
Just humans.
Just humans.
Just humans.
Talking of humans, there's something going on. It's sweeping the nation of France. Open-air street urinals have been installed.
OK.
I can't believe I'm reading it. Many have argued that it is sexist.
Can I please say the joke of wee-wee at some point?
Wee-wee. Oh, that's great.
Did you enjoy that?
So here you go. The urinals, this is in
And
Paris.
is that what it looks like?
That is what it looks like. I love it's very French that you can obviously butt out your cigarette as you go.
Yeah,
on
the only
top
thing
there.
missing is a baguette holder on the side, and then you've got everything sorted.
Look at this massive boat of people looking at him.
I think it's trying to obviously clearly help the men of France who need to...
Well, that man's taking that.
Because there are a lack of public conveniences.
Ladies don't need
apparently
the loo, do they?
It's been sold as it's quite organic
Oh.
because it's going to be used to then fertilise. That's what's happening inside.
I mean, it is
urinal.
undeniably sexist that only men apparently need to go to the loo in public spaces.
Yeah.
So I feel like they could have maybe done something, dare I say, very woke, gender neutral, so that anyone can go to the loo. I think that also the wider issue is that, like, planning of loos in general is quite sexist because what you'll always find is there's always a massive queue for the women's bathroom and never a queue for the men's bathroom because they gave the same amount of floor space, but obviously you can get urinals in those spaces.
Yeah.
So in general, going to the loo as a woman is already quite annoying. Now we find these spaces where men can have a wee, and yet women, especially in France, still face criticism for breastfeeding in public.
Yeah.
So I do find it slightly frustrating. And yeah, I just don't understand why they couldn't have created something.
Imagine being the
more
tour guide on that
inclusive.
Novette. On the right is the Champs-Élysées. Just over there, you can see the Arc de Triomphe. There's the restored Notre Dame. And there's a bloke there having a fantastic... We're watching you going. He is definitely taking the Mickey, is what I would say.
Also, do you think-
Definitely.
Do you think he knew he was going to be the stock photo?
I just find it all very bizarre. Like, imagine, like you say, you're on holiday, you're walking down the Seine with your kids, and you're like, oh, there's a man just
hope it doesn't catch
going
on in this
about his
country.
business.
It's
It's kind of...
But what about when women need the toilet? This is what I don't understand.
What, you don't understand why women need the toilet?
No, but why couldn't they have just created
Oh, I
a
see.
facility for us to be able to go to the loo? And I found it, especially when I was pregnant, if you really need to go, it will be very annoying seeing urinals everywhere, and you're like, oh, great, that's helpful.
I can see them putting a curtain on top and then you just have to squat on top of that bit. Does that work? Inclusive? I don't know. I'm trying to solve everything the best I can. A zoo in Denmark has launched an appeal for donations of healthy pets to be gently... Oh, God, I did... Sometimes you go to read something and you feel awful. Pets to be gently euthanised. Oh, and fed to its predators. Oof. Would you donate your pet?
I had to check this wasn't like an April the 1st thing. I was like, what month are we on?
Wow.
This is a true story that they are requesting that people donate their horses, hamsters, rabbits.
Horses.
I mean, when I read it, as Ashley rightly says, owners of chickens, rabbits, I mean, I couldn't do that.
No.
Guinea pig, and a horse. I mean, you've formed such a close affinity with a horse. The idea you're going to feed it to a cheetah or a leopard or something is appalling.
I mean, you've just mentioned a hamster. We have a hamster. I would never give our little hamster away to be fed to a bigger animal.
I feel like there's something quite sociopathic, perhaps, about having a pet and being like, yeah, we'll give it to a tiger.
Oh.
Like, I don't understand why you would, because also they do have to be healthy. They check that they're healthy, and I think if it's a horse, you have to show that you've got its passport, so it's not just a random horse, someone else's horse. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what the norm is for feeding animals in zoos, but this obviously, as humans, we have a very close love of our pets.
Yeah.
What we've
It's
discovered
making me
here.
sad, this item.
This made me really sad.
So French men are urinating by the side of the Seine.
Oh, no.
In Denmark, they're feeding animals, they're feeding healthy persons. That's an argument for Brexit. We finally found an argument for Brexit. That is why Britain got out of Europe, because of the sort of practices they do.
We were just getting on.
Finally.
Fantastic.
At least we found one benefit.
I knew someone from LBC would bring it back down to Brexit. I love that. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now, listen, we upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.